This is cs952, Introduction to Web Technologies and Design, and we're going to get busy working on our media page. So let's double click on Media in the Files panel, and the media page will open up. And I'm going to scroll down, and here is our placeholder content. And as before, I'm going to click on my placeholder content that says Main Content. I can click and drag to highlight Main Content. That's one way to select all the content. Or, if you've clicked where it says Main Content, in the status bar you can click on Instance Editable. It highlights all that content, and then hit Delete. So we've deleted our placeholder content. That was just a content just to hold that spot in the page to help us find where we were going to be working. Of course, everything else is grayed out because the rest of the page is locked down in our template. I'm going to hit the Enter key a couple times. I'm going to hit the up arrow key once. And this is where we're going to be adding all the content for our media page. Let's use that snippet one more time that we created to speed things along. So I'm going to go to Window and open up Snippets. And our little snippet was saved under Bootstrap Snippets. Let's expand the Bootstraps Snippets folder and scroll down. And that's what we want right there where it says Starting Code. So I'm going to click on Starting Code, and then I'm going to click on the Insert button. And our starting code is inserted right into our page. Let's close our Snippets window. And we want to change this H2 text. We want to change it from gallery to media, right? Because this is our media page. So I double clicked on the word gallery, and I'm going to type media, M-E-D-I-A, because this is our media page. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Save All. Now let's do a little work in Live View. I'm going to click to go to Live View. And we want to use our Live View Scrubber. This is the Live View Scrubber. We want to scrub down to make sure that we're in medium view. And if you're not sure what medium view is, it's that range between 992 pixels and 1200 pixels. Or when you drag the scrubber back and forth, you can see we're in small view now because you see the little SM. If I drag over here, we're in medium view. If I drag all the way down here to this light green area, we got a little XS. That means extra small. So I want to make sure that I'm in medium view. Dreamweaver inserts Bootstrap components, and the default size for those components is based on whatever viewing range you happen to be in at that time. So we want to make sure we're in medium, and I want to make sure that I have my H2 selected. And I'm going to go to Insert, the Insert panel, and we still have Form showing here because we were just working with form elements. So I'm going to click and switch back to Bootstrap Components. And I'm going to click on Insert a Grid Row with a Column. Now when we do that, the first thing that Dreamweaver wants to know is where we're going to put it relative to our currently selected element, right? Our currently selected element is that H2 tag. That was the last thing that we just changed. If we look in the status bar, we can see that H2 is selected. We want this new div to go after the H2 tag. So when Dreamweaver asks for the placement of this new component, we're going to choose after. And for the number of columns, we're actually going to select 2 columns this time. I don't think we've done that before. It's always been 1 column, right? This time we're going to choose 2 columns, and we're going to click on After. And then OK. So what we have now is we have a row, and this row contains 2 columns. If I look at my DOM panel, we don't have that. My DOM panel is not being displayed right now. If I want to restore my view to the standard display that we've been using, the beginner display, I just click up here in the upper right and I choose Reset Beginner. And again, I don't like beginner. I think it sounds dismissive. This is more like Dreamweaver Essentials. And we'll notice down here in our DOM, in our Document Object panel, our new row is highlighted. And if I click on the tag that represents my new div, we'll see that we've got two divs inside of it, right? Both, we've got two columns, and they're each, notice they're each medium 6, right? Because we were in medium view when we dropped these in place, they're both medium 6. And as you may recall from the video that talked about how the Bootstrap components work, we dropped this in when we were in the medium view so that when we're smaller than medium view, these two elements will stack one on top of each other. And they're going to be pretty big. The first one's going to be holding our video player. So that's why we wanted to make sure that we were in the medium view, because since we were in the medium view, when we added these components in Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver made them members by default of the medium class. If we'd been smaller, it would have been a smaller class. If it would have been larger, it would have been a larger class. Okay, we're going to create CSS selectors that we're going to be assigning to our components here, because we're definitely going to be doing some styling. Okay, so let's do this real quick. We're going to go under our CSS designer. We want to make sure we have style selected, because it is the styles.css file where we are storing all the custom styles for our website. We're going to click on global, because this is going to be a global selector. It's going to apply to extra small, small, medium, and large. And then I'm going to click on the plus sign to add a new selector. And this is we need to open this up so we can see a little bit. This is what the selector is that I'm going to add. So you can type in the same thing. I'm going to type a pound sign, which means this is going to be an ID, right? And I'm going to type all, A-L-L, and then media, M-E-D-I-A. So this is one word, no spaces, all media. And I'm going to hit enter. Now I want to assign the row that we just added. I want to assign that row to the ID of all media. How do I do that? In my status bar, just click on my new div. That's the div that I just added. That's the div that contains the two medium columns. And then if I look over here under div ID, I'm going to see I've got a couple things listed. We have icons 3. Remember, we created those rules for our home page. We have photo gallery. We created those rules for our gallery page. We're going to use all media. So let's click on that. And when we do that, we can see now in our document object model panel, in the DOM panel, the div that we created is both a member of the class row, and now we can see it's got that ID of all media. So we're going to use this to do some nice styling to get a very attractive media player. So this is a good place to stop, and then we will move on. I'm going to go ahead and click Save All, my favorite thing to do when I think it's time to stop and take a break.